is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and while I will say the title of today's video is definitely clickbaity, I will share some tips to unlock Agony as soon as possible. This video is mostly going to be just me showing off some fun stuff that I've been doing in Marvel Snap recently, but if you really just want to unlock Agony as soon as possible, I mean, there's no way around it. Clicking this button right here as many times as possible is going to be the fastest way to do that. Also, winning in high voltage mode does earn you a little bit of voltage as well, so you can check out my video on what I think the best deck to play is in the game mode, so that way you can keep winning and get progressing. Now, short of that, if you are free to play like myself, one other way to get your hands on Agony immediately is with card generation. So I threw Arishem into a deck with a bunch of cards that might potentially work with Agony. More on this in a second, but yeah, Arishem is a way to potentially get your hands on Agony today. I did also want to share that one thing that you can do, especially if you are light on time, is create some decks for high voltage mode that are specifically good at completing specific missions that you might find. This is my deck that if I get the hard mission where you have to play a bunch of 5-cost cards, this is a good way to go about it, with Arishem giving me that extra energy so that I am more likely to have 5 energy on the first turn of the game. Black Bolt and Stature is one cheeky combo to get a few extra 5s. Sarah can also reduce the cost of everything in the deck, and Kang allows me to play a 5 for free before rewinding the game. One other mission that I thought drug on a little too long sometimes was the mission where you have to spend 20 energy in one game, and Arishem is great for that too. I had a game where I would have had 3, 6, and 9 energy, which would have been just short for 18 total energy. However, Arishem just by himself makes that 4, 7, 10, so 21, and playing a bunch of other ways to generate energy seemed cool. The main ways here are Wiccan, Hope Summers, and Psylocke, though maybe I could randomly generate a card to destroy X-23, not leaning on that one super hard, but just playing a bunch of cheap cards to help me trigger Hope Summers and fulfill the condition for Wiccan, while also generating cards so that way I have some stuff to spend that extra energy on. Here's an example of one such low roll in a game where I would have had 3, then 6, then 9 energy. The exact example that I outlined actually. Arishem gives me enough energy to play that turn 1 Wiccan, which now sets me up that I'll have enough energy no matter what for the rest of the game, but turn 2 I'm able to play Hope Summers into a Psylocke plus 2 other cards to triple on that Hope Summers. So now I've got 2 extra energy from Wiccan, 1 extra energy from Arishem, 3 extra energy from Hope, and an extra energy from that Psylocke. 7 extra energy on the final turn is actually going to result in me having a total of 16 energy to spend. We can see how that goes for me as well. Destroyer destroyed all of my cards at the center location. I was losing that location anyways, and returning Sabretooth to my hand actually pumped up my Devil Dinosaur, so that was cool, but my opponent has played all to the left here, so this Destroyer has to be enough, and it just barely is, even with that Havoc trigger, enough to win in Wakanda. As I was messing around with Arishem, trying to randomly generate Agony, Arishem actually let me know of a better option with Shanna, which I'm going to show off in this clip. We're going to get to see my first time using Agony, and it totally took me for surprise. We've got the Shanna activation, which gives me Agony in that center location, and I could barely have enough time to click on it before it absorbed itself into Howard the Duck. So with that, I actually took Arishem out of this deck and replaced it with Shanna, because not having all of those extra Arishem cards, I figure will just make it more likely that I'm able to activate Shanna. And I also just started playing the deck in normal, non-high voltage mode, just normal Marvel Snap. That way I would have more turns, more draws in the deck, and more opportunities to find and play Shanna. This game, I get to play it into Sinister London. I'm gonna get to see 6 different 1-cost cards. Unfortunately, I did not find Agony here, but Nico with the copy a card mode plus Venom into Sinister London means that I'm gonna get to kind of go off with Venom here. Plus, I've got a Deadpool in my hand that already has increased power from Bast. I was thinking maybe there's an opportunity to like try to return Shanna to my hand with Beast, but I just decided to go for the straightforward play here of Deadpool and Venom into Sinister London and then Beast the Venoms. So that way I would have a bunch of Venoms without priority for the final turn of the game. I think if nothing else, this experiment has showed me that Symbiote Spider-Man and Arnim Zola is a really powerful combination that I probably want to be playing more of. It's obviously very disruptible, but it's also a lot of fun. Especially with Black Panther, instead of all of these Human Torch and Deadpool, all of these other weird shenanigans. So the Panther doubles up to 10, and then Symbiote makes it 17, becomes 34, which Arnim Zola doubles up to 68 at the other 2 locations. Pretty sweet. I'm sure a lot of this is old news at this point, but I'm learning stuff here for the first time. Like, did you know that if you Symbiote Spider-Man a Deadpool and destroy it, you will get double the stats, but on a 4-cost Symbiote Spider-Man? Always fun to do a bit of a learning. This was funny too. I did have an opponent that just retreated to Deadpool on Aunt May's, not realizing that the rest of my deck is a little bit janky, but yeah, still a fun moment. Since getting the first Shanna from RSM, I've basically been playing Shannas all day, trying to find Agony, and unfortunately this is as close as I've gotten. In addition to the original RSM clip, this game was a TVA game, so I had an opportunity to double Shanna, but I really need to find Agony on the first Shanna because next turn the game's going to end and I'm not going to have any opportunity to capitalize on it. Unfortunately, I don't get it off the first one, but I do get it on the second Shanna, and I am able to have it forge onto a Human Torch, but I don't have time to play anything else before the game is over. And with that, this video is over. Wait, actually, I'm gonna take one more shot. As I was uploading this video, I played another game with Luke's bar. So I was feeling good, but I didn't even need it because I got Agony off the first Shanna, and I've got a couple of ways to try to take advantage of her now with the Deadpool or the Human Torch. I go for the Human Torch kind of just for science to test how this works. It's not actually, I should have gone for the Deadpool in hindsight, but I didn't know. This is the first time really using Agony here. We are going to activate the Aranya and throw Agony into the Human Torch, or throw the Human Torch into Agony. It moves and doubles with the Aranya buff, then it gets the Agony onto it on top of that. So didn't really work out. Like I said, I probably should have just used it with Deadpool, but let's look at it one more time to finish off the video. That is going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.